بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين. Alhamdulillah, we are able to have once again our webinar for Kauthar Learning Circle, and this time it's from London, and most of our brothers and sisters are from West Coast, but we have people from other places. So it's a great pleasure for me to be with you today. Before I start, for your information, on Wednesday we started a conference in Oxford. I was invited for an international consultation on love in religions. And the idea was to discuss cutting-edge issues about love. There were 15 presentations, 3 Muslims, the rest non-Muslims. From US and UK universities, there were 15 presentations. Of course, there were more people, but those who had presentations were 15. And everyone was trying to share with others their recent work on love or their recent review of literature about love by other people. So it was very good, and alhamdulillah, the talk that we had was well received, to the extent that the organizer thanked me a lot, and one of the professors said that you can anytime come to our church and give lecture. So it was very good, alhamdulillah, and the lecture is put online. It's about 20 minutes lecture and followed by 12 minutes question and answer with other professors about my presentation. So you are welcome to watch that lecture, and inshallah, hopefully you will find it useful for yourself and for your teaching, inshallah. So now we go back to our discussion on Munyat al-Murid. As you remember, we first had verses of the Quran about knowledge, then we had hadith from Amma, from the non-Shia sources, and then we started hadith from Khassa, from Shia sources. The first hadith was from Imam Raza alayhi salam and Aba'ihi and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Imam Raza quotes from his fathers and finally from Rasulullah. The famous hadith that you are all familiar with is the beginning of this hadith, but it has also lots of other things in it. Talabul ilm faridatun ala kulli Muslim. Seeking knowledge is an obligation for every Muslim. Fatlubul ilma fi madanihi waqtabsuhu min ahlihi. We have already talked about this part. Seek knowledge in its proper places, and seek knowledge from its reliable people. So when it comes to resources that you use, you should find the resources which are really good. When it comes to teachers, you have to find the teachers who are really good, the people who are qualified to talk about this issue. Then it says, فَإِنَّ تَعَلُّمَهُ لِلَّهِ حَسَنَةٌ وَطَلَبَهُ عِبَادَةٌ. Seeking knowledge, learning knowledge for the sake of God is hasana, is a good action, is an act of worship for which you will be rewarded, inshallah. It's one of your hasanat, and one of indeed your best hasanat, to seek knowledge, to learn. Learning by asking questions, learning by reading, learning by attending class, by discussing. Learning in any case is hasanatun, is a good action for which you would be praised and rewarded, inshallah. وَطَلَبَهُ عِبَادَةٌ. And seeking knowledge is an act of worship. So not only it's a good action, it's also an ibadah. Hasanatun, the previous one, here is ibadah, it's an act of worship. وَالْمُذَاكَرَةُ بِهِ تَسْبِيحٌ. If you discuss knowledge with other people, either like a classroom setting or in a masjid setting, or study circles, or like for example KLC, you can have discussion. This discussion, this scientific discussion about knowledge, tasbihun, is considered as glorification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's an act of tasbih, of glorification of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's very important. وَالْعَمَلُ بِهِ جِهَادٌ, and if you act upon it, it's kind of a struggle for the sake of God. وَتَعْلِيمُهُ مَنْ لَا يَعْلَمُهُ صَدَقَةٌ, and teaching it to the people who don't know it is a charity. Charity is not to give money to those who don't have money. Charity is not just to give water to the people who don't have water. Charity is also to give knowledge to those who don't have knowledge. Actually, it's one of the best types of charity is this. وَبَذْلُهُ لَأَهْلِهِ قُرْبَةٌ إِلَى اللَّهِ تَعَالَى, and giving this to the people who deserve it, who are suitable for it, it's bringing you nearer to God. قُرْبَةٌ إِلَى اللَّهِ تَعَالَى, it's an act that brings you nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Why? Why so much emphasis on learning? لأنه معالم الحلال والحرام, because in this way you would understand the banners of halal and haram. You understand the ways you can decide and determine what is halal, what is haram. وَمَنَارُ سَبِيلِ الْجَنَّةِ, and it's the manar means a place from which light comes, like minaret. So this is the minaret from which light for the path towards heaven comes. If you are traveling towards heaven, imagine it must be very difficult. It's like traveling in the night, but you need light. That light is coming from knowledge. وَالْمُونِسُ فِي الْوَحْشَةِ, knowledge is the one that gives you acquaintance when you are alone, gives you company when you are alone. If someone has knowledge and he's alone, he doesn't feel lonely. وَالصَّاحِبُ فِي الْغُرْبَةِ, and when you are traveling or you are a stranger, your knowledge is with you. It's like you have someone, a relative or a friend from your own town with you as a support. وَالصَّاحِبُ فِي الْغُرْبَةِ, and if you are a stranger, if you are in a remote place, far from your friends and relatives and associates and helpers and allies, knowledge can be your companion. وَالصَّاحِبُ فِي الْغُرْبَةِ وَالْوَحْدَةِ, the one that is with you in the time of loneliness, being a stranger, being alone. وَالْمُحَدِّثُ فِي الْخَلْوَةِ, it speaks to you when you are alone. When you are alone, knowledge doesn't let you be attacked by bad ideas and thoughts. وَالدَّلِيلُ عَلَى السَّرَّاءِ وَالضَّرَّاءِ, knowledge is the guide in the time of difficulties and the time of ease. Knowledge tells you what you are supposed to do. وَالسِّلَاهُ عَلَى الْأَعْدَاءِ, it's a weapon against the enemies, because enemies very much use ignorance. Either they themselves are ignorant, or at least if they are clever, they know what is wrong, what is right. They use wrong ideas and false accusations. وَالسِّلَاهُ عَلَى الْأَعْدَاءِ, so a weapon against enemies. وَالزَّيْنُ عِنْدَ الْأَخِلَّةِ, it's a beauty, it's a decoration, adornment when you are with your friends. So enemies will be afraid of you, will fear you because of knowledge, and friends will respect you even more. Imagine if a person comes without proper dress, without proper hairdressing, without proper appearance, people may respect him less. If he has a proper dressing, proper akhlaq, proper behavior, proper manners, it adds to the respect. In the same way, if someone has knowledge, it will be adornment for him with his friends or her friends. يرفع الله به أقواما فيجعلهم في الخير قادة. With knowledge, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala raises some people and make them leaders towards good, make them examples of good. تَقْتَبِثُ آثَارَهُم, then you follow their works, what has been received from them. وَيُقْتَدَى بِفِعَالِهِمْ, and their actions will be followed. وَيَنْتَهِي إِلَىٰ آرَائِهِمْ, يَا يُنْتَهَى إِلَىٰ آرَائِهِمْ, when they have dispute, when there is discussion, at the end they finish with their opinion. تَرْغَبُ الْمَلَائِكَةُ فِي خُلَّتِهِمْ, the angels are yearning and eager to become their friend, to become their friends. وَبِأَجْنِحَتِهَا تَمْسَحُهُمْ, and with their wings, which is spiritual wing, they wipe them. So they put their wings on their face, on their hand, on their body. وَفِي صَلَوَاتِهَا تُبَارَكُ عَلَيْهِمْ, and in their salutations they ask Allah to bless them. يَسْتَغْفِرُ لَهُمْ كُلُّ رَطْبٍ وَيَابِسٍ حَتَّى حِيتَانِ الْبَحْرِ وَحَوَامِهِ وَسَبَاعُ الْبَرِّ وَأَنْعَامِهِ. سَبَاعُ الْبَرِّ وَأَنْعَامُهُ. Every dry and wet ask for forgiveness on their behalf. Even fishes in sea, animals, even wild animals of the land, they all are praising and asking for forgiveness for such people. Then inshallah we continue with the rest of hadith next week, or maybe tomorrow for the other group. إِنَّ الْعِلْمَ حَيَاةُ الْقُلُوبِ, knowledge is the life for heart. Inshallah we'll continue this next session. وآخر دعوانا أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.